All rise. Please be seated. Thank you. We're back on the record. Today is December 15th in continued removal proceedings for Fatima Torre, file number A12345-678. The respondent is present in court today. She continues to be represented by counsel Chris Nugent and Marissa Chancharillo. The Department of Homeland Security is represented again today by Stephen Spiegelhalter. The respondent, there is present in court today also an interpreter in the French language, Ms. Sandrine Forgeron. This case is set today for a hearing, first of all, on the issue of removability. There is a continued issue of removability on a prior fraud charge under Section 212A6C of the Act. In addition, the case is set today for a hearing on the issue of relief from removal, specifically asylum, withholding of removal, and relief under the Convention Against Torture. The court record at this point consists of two documents, the notice to appear and the filing of the I-589, which was done at the last hearing. First of all, are there any additional documents or any amendments to the documents that have already been submitted, counsel?
Yes, Your Honor. We have several amendments to the documents. We have an amended page 2 to the I-589 application for asylum. There are 3 paragraphs that have been amended on this page, and it was based on further interviewing with our client. We also have an amended affidavit for the client. Page 8, paragraph 30 needed to be amended. We also were able to secure the amended constitution to the country of Guinea, which was recently amended.
Mr. Spiegelhalter, any submissions from the government?
Yes, Your Honor. We have one additional submission, which is the country profile of Guinea from the United States Department of State.
Do you have any objection to what's marked as Exhibit Number 3? This is the replacement page, paragraph 3 of the I-589. Do you have any objection to the amendment made there and its admission into the record?
No, Your Honor.
The next issue is Exhibit Number 5, and this is the constitutional amendments implemented by the November 11th referendum. And this is from the Republic of Guinea. Have you had a chance to review that? And if so, do you have any objections to it?
Your Honor, I had a chance to review it for about 25 seconds as we were talking here. I have several objections. The first is that it was given to us at this late date and appears to be in French. I don't know how I could possibly address it during the hearing.
Your Honor, there is a translation attached to the document.
I find it hard to believe that the only source for this document was the embassy in Guinea bringing back to the United States. I find it hard to believe that it was, in fact, not available for this hearing.
Well, Your Honor, as you can tell, the Constitution was only recently amended several months ago, and we diligently contacted the U.S. Embassy for a copy of this, and they did not even have it on file with the embassy, and they had to physically go to the Ghanaian government to try to get a copy of this.
Okay. Mr. Spiegelhalter, anything else on this document?
No, Your Honor.
Well, first of all, I have to agree with the government counsel that I think this could have been submitted at an earlier date. It is a large document to be given on the date of the hearing. However, I'm going to withhold making any ruling at this moment. I'll hear the testimony. It is marked as Exhibit Number 5. I'll withhold judgment at this point. The next issue is Exhibit Number 6. This is the Country Report on Human Rights Practices from the Department of State, and to you, Mr. Nugent or Ms. Chancharillo. Are there any objections to this document?
Yes, Your Honor, we object to this document because of timeliness. There is no reason that this profile could not have been provided to us earlier than this date. I believe it's been, according to the date on this country profile, it has been available for several months.
Mr. Spiegelhalter?
Yes, Your Honor. This is the type of document that's regularly used in these cases. I would imagine that perhaps counsel was even familiar with it outside of my having submitted it. And moreover, because it contains information from the United States government that probably synopsizes some of what my opponents would contend is relevant, I do not believe there's any prejudice.
I agree with the respondent's counsel that this could have been submitted at an earlier date. However, it is from the State Department, and I am mandated by regulations to consider information by the State Department, so I am going to admit it into the record in accordance with the regulations. So it'll be admitted into the record as Exhibit Number 6. Are there any other evidentiary or documentary matters to be dealt with preliminarily?
One final, Your Honor. Some of the affidavits, two of the affidavits that were submitted into the record or submitted to us with the evidence, the affidavit of Wahida Toure and the affidavit of Fatoumata Larodere,
Right.
were not notarized.
Mr. Spiegelhalter, I understand what you're getting at, but I think the regulation in question regarding authentication of documents only requires that official documents be authenticated by a Foreign Service officer. We did have a prior issue which was brought up at the removability phase regarding the fraud charge under allegation number 5 and the charge under section 212A6C. On the factual allegation number 5 regarding the fraud charge, I am going to sustain that allegation, and I will also sustain the charge under section 212A6CI. I find that there is clear and convincing evidence of the charge of fraud. I also find it implausible that a 16-year-old coming to the United States would not be aware that documents that she was submitting did not belong to her.